Greetings to everyone. My name is Wayne. Welcome to my world. For the next 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to go face to face today. This is the first time in a long time I've been on without a PowerPoint, without a presentation that you can watch, because I'd like you to listen. As we begin this year, as we move forward with our plans, I thought it's time to look at wealth in a different way. The title of my program today, if you looked at it on Facebook, was What Matters in Wayne's World? And the answer was money matters, because we're trying to build our wealth. We don't want to get rich. We want to build wealth to get time freedom. So I want to share 5 things that people do that don't cause them to build wealth. I'd like to talk about how consumption savings, not savings, savings and taxes work together to maximize the effectiveness of the money you earn, whether it's passive income, preferred, or active income. The difference being, do I work for it or does it work for me? We'll take a look at inflation. It's here. It's going to stay. It's not slowing down. We'll take a look at the Phillips curve, which tells us maybe how long it will last, and the upcoming recession, as well as some of the commandments of wealth building. So for some of this, you've heard it before. Some of you have never heard it, and some of you are already practicing it. So please give me some blind faith, and let's open this up to just an open mind about thinking about some things that work for the people I coach and mentor in Wayne's World, as well as my personal life. So here we go. My venture into investment real estate began many, many years ago, over 27 and a half years. Next week, I actually close on one of the first income properties I bought, a 2-flat, bought on contract because I didn't have adequate down payment or couldn't come up with credit to meet a lender's needs. So I had to go to the seller. And since then, I always offer any of my rental properties to my tenants on a rent to own or a contract sale. Just a thought, a rent to own or a contract sale. Because if I started to build wealth that way, can't I pass it forward and allow them to build wealth that way? So one of the first thoughts and tips I guess I want you to think about is, are you looking for properties this year to build wealth in real estate where you can get a contract sale? Or if you are renting, can you sit down with your building owner and talk about a rent to own option? So why don't people do this? Why do I constantly share my message? I just was at a new client this week in Burr Ridge, Illinois. Beautiful office, great agents. And I asked them the same thing I ask every single one of you. I'd like you to buy at least 2 income properties a year and hold them for the benefits. Or if you'd like to buy 3 properties, flip 1 and keep 2 to get some instant cash, that's fine too. So the 3-2-1 theory seems to be more appropriate these days. Either way, 2 minimum a year. That is your exit strategy. That is your retirement plan. Why don't people do this? Well, it didn't occur to them. The awareness aspect. I didn't know I could do this. I hear agent upon agent tell me, oh, they don't have any money. You don't need money. You can buy the money. There's loads of money out there. It's for sale. Now, the price went up in the last year. Yes, we're still at 8, 7, 6% for some investment loans. Maybe higher if your credit is bad. But I'm still getting, I could bring 2 up here again, 2 more requests for me to open up a credit card account and borrow at 0% until 2024 with a 3% balance transfer. No principal due for 12 months. Minimal interest. Fully deductible as an investment. And guess what? I just checked my FICO score. I don't get that concerned about it, but believe me, people, it is under 700. Yet I'm still getting offer upon offer upon offer upon offer because I paid as agreed, paid as agreed, paid as agreed. That's the key. Use other people's money. So let's leave that for a moment. You and I work mostly on commission if you're a real estate agent. Some of you have a second source of income, or maybe real estate's your second source of income. There might be a salary or an hourly wage. But either way, all that money goes into a pot. After you have to take away a lot of deductions. Uncle Sam, today's the first day you can complete your taxes for this year, due April 18th. Some people are ready to go. Some people haven't even thought about it. They'll take an extension. Either way, we have to pay taxes. So that's one element of where your money goes. The other place it goes to is savings, not savings, savings. You need a safe account, SAFE, a set-aside fund for emergencies. Many of you have a HELOC on a home or a second mortgage where you have equity. You can use that if you need to, but in most cases, most financial planners recommend about 6 months at a minimum in a safe account. That's hard today. So I rely on my HELOCs and my credit card balance transfers for my safe account. Now, I don't have the money that moment, but I can have it that day, deposited into a checking account with a balance transfer or a balance transfer check. But the most important thing you do is consume. Now, think about this. It's a pie. There's 3 pieces to the pie: consumption, savings, taxes. There really is a 4th piece that should be in there called investment. So with 4 pieces of pie, which one is the biggest? Is it your consumption dollars? Is it your savings dollars? Is it your tax dollars? Or is it your investment dollars? So a theory I've proposed several times on this screen, and I'll share again, is if Uncle Sam gets X% of your income every month based on your tax bracket, then obviously one advantage to avoiding taxes like poison is get into a lower tax bracket, i.e. deductions, investments with deductions, and the magic of real estate investments, depreciation. And now you'll have more money to spend, to consume or save or invest because you're paying less taxes. Now that's a whole strategy. And hopefully you have a person smarter than you, i.e. a good accountant. And I'm giving you no advice today financially. Basically, I'm saying these are my thoughts, in my humble opinion, but check my thoughts and proposals and verify them with a person you respect and trust, whether it's an attorney, whether it's an accountant, whether it's another realtor or an investor. With that said, once you know your tax bracket, if it's 25, less than 25, more than 25, it's 33. I'm of the opinion, and this is how I built my wealth. I sacrificed by paying Uncle Sam as little as I can and then matching that in my investments and savings. So if my tax bracket's 25% to the federal government, I'm going to put away 25% to reach a certain goal that I wanted to reach. And on June 18th, 1978, I set a goal, a financial goal to achieve by January 30th, 1980. That was a long time ago, 43 years ago. I love goals. Goals are for people who need them, and I know I need them. I admit I need help. So a goal helps me because it does a number of things which we may touch upon. But most importantly, it gave me a focus. Focus. I've used this word before, Focus. I followed one course until successful. I put away. I saved. I invested. I took a lot less to consume. I didn't buy a lot of new clothes. didn't take a lot of trips, didn't do a lot of things in the short term. Of course, that short term was a long time. But by January 25th of that year, 5 days before my goal was to expire, I reached my financial goal and created what I called my wealth freedom. But more importantly, my friends, my time freedom. So here you are. You set some goals, you set some plans. Did one of them be, how am I going to create a timeline for my wealth freedom, which gives me more time freedom? And it's questionable if you don't have a goal, how that's going to happen. Because see, goals will give you energy. I focused like a laser beam on trying to save money here, do some stuff myself there, go without something for a while, and consistently get my tax bracket down, 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 down. I just looked at a 1997 tax return I had in an old file. My income was unbelievably low in comparison to today. Not to impress you, but to impress upon you. The plan was going in place, but it was wandering very slow. Because I believe getting wealthy slowly is the secret to time freedom. If I get lucky and win the lottery, which I don't play, so I can't win, but that's okay. I can't lose either. See, you can't lose if you don't play, but you can't win if you don't play. You have to make that decision. A lot of people make the wrong decision. So now I've got my plan. Try to get my taxes down lower so I can save and invest less, which gives me more for consumption. Once I'm consuming, then I got to look at how do I consume. I have a very good friend, person who handles all my computer repairs and work. He's at our board. Tremendous. I use Gas Buddy. He uses Gas Buddy. He told me how to link it to my credit card. He just told me on his last fill up, he saved $1.10 a gallon because he used that process. See, if I save $1.10 a gallon and I put in 20 gallons, I'm saving $22. To have $22 in savings, I probably would have to earn $26 to $30 before taxes. See, all the savings, all the money you save by lowering your consumption cost for the same items as someone else, the more tax-free money you have. And once you do save that money by saving $22, a smart wealth builder will take that money and put it aside in a bank, in an envelope, in a box, and pretend they spent it. So I go home with the same full tank of gas as somebody else does, but I got $22 to put into the box to use later, to build on consumption later, but not spend right away. I can dump it into paying off a loan. We know the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. Unfortunately, it can work against you or work for you. And all you have to do is look at a credit card statement, if you have a balance on it, and see what they tell you by how long it will take if you make the minimum payment every month, but never make another charge on that account. I have a credit card statement, a card that I use for most of my real estate purchases for my investment property. I had quite a large bill about 2-3 months ago. It's close to $12,000. I had to buy some bathroom fixtures. We were remodeling bathrooms in a multi-unit building. I had to buy some stuff for houses. It was $12,000. Mostly Home Depot. Oh, but once again, why do I use Home Depot? And why do I wait till Menards has 11% off sale? Because Home Depot is closer to me, easier for my workers, and Home Depot will match the 11% rebate that Menards does. You can go online right now after we get done and put Home Depot 11% rebate. And there'll be a form to fill out. It's actually easier than using Menards 11% rebate because theirs you have to mail in. Home Depot, I can do online at the store or as soon as I get my invoice in the email. So now I'm saving 11%. And now my credit card bill comes. Now, technically, that $12,000 bill, if it were all Home Depot charges, I'd have another $1,320 in credits from Home Depot just because I used that 11% off deal. In addition, my card pays me back 2% on all purchases. So I got $240 back from that. Are you following this so far? We're close to $1,500 that I'm going to get back in some way or another. Now, I got my $12,000 bill. I am proud to say I have never had a balance on a credit card. I always pay my credit cards in full as agreed. Don't have to, but I don't want to pay interest. See, interest I pay out for things like that is bad debt. Borrowing for an income property is good debt. Good debt, bad debt, we could play that all day. Let's go back to the rest of the story. Now, I have a chance to pay it in full, $12,000, or give them $129 a month and they would be happy. If I just sent them $129, never use that card again, they would be happy. You know why they're happy? Because it told me on that credit card statement, if I pay them $129 a month, $129 a month for 60 years, I've paid off my bill. 60 years, 60. I will have paid them $92,880. I just did the calculation. And they'd be happy. I borrowed $12,000. I'm paying over $80,000 of interest just on that purchase. See, this is a terrible game to get into. Using credit as a power tool and you don't know the rules. You don't know the instructions. Paying in full. So again, multiple credit cards. So I accumulate credit cards in my life. At the height of my credit card portfolio, I had 202 credit cards. I'm slowly narrowing them down because I don't need them as often. But I got billing dates for every month. So I can play a flip-flop rule and get 2 months, 60 days. I just paid a final water bill on the property I'm closing on next week. It was $200. I paid that today, January 23rd. The bill will come in February. I will have until March 15th to pay that $200 back. If I was struggling for some reason, had some extra bills, just lost some income, whatever the case might be, I'd have 2 months almost to find a way to earn $200. Can I sell something on Facebook or on Craigslist? Can I take extra hours at work? Can I work harder, help somebody with something, do extra shows? What can I do? I got 2 months to figure out how I come up with the $200. People, there's a message there. There's a powerful message there. It's the discipline and the determination to not give money to somebody else, i.e. interest, unless you feel that's good debt. Oh, I needed those things. My tenants are happy they got new bathrooms and other things, but I don't need to pay $80,000 to do that. So the balance transfer, the 0% for a year or more, 15 months. In fact, the Wells Fargo had a deal several months ago. I took off for 21 months, 0% interest for 24 months and a 3% balance transfer fee. People, it's there. It's still there. I've got 2 sitting to the right of me to do with PNC Bank. 2 different offers, both for 0% till 2024, 3% balance transfer fee. Credit is a power tool in a consumer workshop. It's how you leverage real estate. It's how you can come in with little or no money down, as long as the numbers work. And yes, I know interest rates are high. But see, it's not the interest rate you should be worried about in this economy. It's how fast can you pay it off. And we're talking about refinancing. We're seeing agents get 3-2-1 buy downs from lenders and sellers. Rocket Mortgage is giving people 1% back in payments. Fairway Mortgage has some program going. Guaranteed Rate has something going. They all do. I'm worried about you, because I'd like you to enjoy the financial freedom, the time freedom, the life freedom, because you have a wealth building process that's going to reach its peak where you want it to be by a certain time. And the best way to do that is, obviously, in my mind, investment real estate. Not really the best, the ideal. We have to talk about that. So again, why don't people do this? Why don't agents do this? We're sitting on a gold mine, all these rental properties we see every day in the MLS, houses we go by, the ones we could flip, the foreclosures, the short sales. They're all there for us to see before a lot of other people know they exist. With that in your mind, then realize that if you are going to become aware, then the next weak link is no goals. You didn't decide to do it. I said buy 2 income properties a year. Well, guess what? It's going to be February before you close on one this year. But will you close on one in March? Will you focus on looking for an income property that fits your criteria that you think you could work with? I just talked to an agent last night who's up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, buying property. She just was there last night looking for another one. She just started investing less than a year ago. She's got 2 properties in Kenosha, Wisconsin already, and she's looking for another one. That's what it's all about. But see, you have to decide to do it. Okay, so yes, you're saying, oh yeah, Wayne, I'm going to do it. Yes, I will. Boy, you got me going. Wow, please. I'm so glad I came on. And then what happens? You procrastinate. You put it off. You don't do it. That's why a lot of people fail on everything. They have a great idea. They realize they can do it. The numbers work. They said they're going to do it, but they don't do it. You sometimes need a nudge. And I'm going to be your nudge. Because every time you hear me, you're going to hear I should be buying at least 2 income properties a year or more. Now, third point is you didn't decide to do it. Here's the bigger problem, because we all like things. We like new things. I see the Apple 14 Pro phone is out. I see the iWatch 8 is out. I see there's new technology. I see there's new gadgets. I see there's new things. I have gadgetorial seduction. I'm very tempted to buy stuff I don't need. That's one of my problems in life. Somebody else has some other issues in life. I have gadgetorial seduction. So if you look around my home, I have a lot of gadgets. If you look in my car, I have a lot of gadgets. My car is full of gadgets. But I got to be careful, because that's how people get messed up at the beginning, because they can't delay instant gratification. You will not be a wealth builder if you continue to buy now. That's why I said earlier, if you're paying Uncle Sam 18, 25, 22, 30, you better put that much away. Otherwise, you'll just spend it on stuff that has no meaning. It's short-term instant gratification. And boy, stores try their best to get us to do that. Talk about subliminal seduction in a grocery store, in a pharmacy, in any store, at the end aisles, all kinds of stuff you can buy. Instant gratification is the killer in wealth building. You have to discipline yourself to avoid instant gratification. You've got to delay instant gratification. I never even think about going into a drive-through fast food restaurant on an impulse. I will go because I check the app. I happened to check the app at a McDonald's last week. And what did it say? We're celebrating the 40th anniversary of McNuggets. You get 6 for free. Super deal. 6 for free. It also said, if you buy some for $2, you get a second set free. So I left with a lot of nuggets for $2. Now, I'm not saying it's the best food, not getting into that process, but whether it's Wendy's, Popeyes, Burger King, Taco Bell, I would never even think about pulling into a drive-thru without checking an app. It's kind of like, why would anybody go into a Best Buy and pay full price? They've got coupons everywhere you look, in your mailbox, in newspapers, in ads, online. 20, 25% off. So I can wait. I can wait. The last reason why people don't build wealth, and this is why I believe wealth is a slow process. They didn't understand the time perspective. The sooner you start putting money away, the sooner you start building wealth with real estate, the longer you can enjoy it. The sooner you start any investment strategy, the longer you can enjoy it. The time perspective. There's loads of calculators. There's loads of websites that say if I put $100 a week away starting at age 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 27, the huge difference in how much I accumulate by the time I'm 40, 50, 60. And guess what? Because we are living longer, we are going to see people, more and more of them, and hopefully not you, who, my friends, run out of money before they run out of life. We have a serious problem that I hope you will not have by listening and carefully doing and acting. See, you can choose to say yes or no to my thoughts, but if you prize what I say and you act on it, you are going to have a nice balance sheet. You got to choose, prize it, and act on it. But it's got to be what you want, not something somebody wants for you. If you love investing in single-family homes, do it. If you love 6 flats, do it. If you love a syndication or an REIT, do it. If you love shopping at a Costco, do it. If you love shopping on eBay, do it. I just ordered some batteries for remote control on eBay. I went to the local CVS. They were $7.95 a battery. I ordered 4 of them. Now, I could have picked them up last Friday at CVS right there. One I need. But I chose to delay instant gratification, and I've got 5 of them coming for $4.40 between the 23rd and the 25th. That's my best example. I can throw the other 4 away, and I'm still ahead if I bought one for $7.95, an Energizer battery at CVS. And I'm sure the other stores are close to the same price. See, that's my example. So, okay, so what I have to do now, I have to bend over and push a button on the switch if I want to turn that item on, just for 4 days. And I'm not using the item anyway. I haven't turned it on since I realized the battery was dead. And it's already Monday. Guess what? It'll be the 23rd. Guess what? It'll be here probably on time, maybe a day late, the 24th, for sure the 25th. $7.95, $4.40. Why? Why not? Didn't occur to you? Didn't decide to do it? Put it off? Can't delay instant gratification? And don't understand the time perspective. So 3 things to keep in the back of your mind. One's the rule of 72s, one's the rule of 115s, and one's the rule of 144s. 72 is the easiest. and probably best for the long term, if I know the return on an investment, if I divide that return into 72, that tells me how long it takes for that investment to double. So we are at, in some markets, 4 to 5% inflation. If that continues, 4 into 72 is 18, 5 into 72 is less than 15. Somewhere between 15 and 18 years, your investment will double. Double. That $100,000 condo is worth $200,000. That $200,000 is worth $400,000. Let's think about this for a moment. I come in and put down 20%. If I use my own cash, let's use that as an example. I'll borrow the 80. So I buy a $100,000 condo for $20,000. Take the tax advantages, pay my monthly payments, take out a 15-year mortgage. Inflation stays at 4 to 5%. In 15 years, your $100,000 condo is worth $200,000. And how much of your own money was in that? $20,000. That's a pretty good return, not even counting all the tax benefits against your income. The passive losses for depreciation on that $200,000 condo or house or whatever it is. Think about that. $20,000, 15 years, $200,000. Match that with any other investment around that is as safe and secure as real estate, just not as liquid. Last October, I was on my Monday presentation, and I talked about a 9.64% guaranteed inflation bond, an I bond from the federal government. From $100,000 to $10,000, you could invest at 9.64% every 6 months. That was a no-brainer. If I had to borrow the $10,000 at 0% for 3% balance transfer ahead of the game. So me and hopefully you put your $10,000 in. Now, if that rate continues, I doubt if it will, but let's pretend it does. Let's pretend it's at 9.64%, which is about 10% a year. Between 7.5 and 8 years, you would have doubled your money. Between 7.5 and 8 years in one of the safest investments, a government bond guaranteed by the United States government. Why didn't everybody find a way to put 100, 500, 1,000, up to 10,000? I don't know, but I do know it's probably because of the first weak link. It didn't occur to them. You might think, oh my God, I never knew about that. That's why you don't build wealth. You have to become aware of these opportunities. That's why you don't buy income property. You don't look for income properties. Every day I'm looking at certain zip codes in my MLS on a hot sheet because I like those areas. It's like an automatic in my life. It's part of my day. Sometimes I wake up early because I want to see what happened. Because, the MLS is pretty much on real time. Stuff comes on any time of the day, night. Awareness, goals, commitment. Avoid instant gratification and go on. So now we've got this consumption, savings, investment, and taxes cycle. I think you understand. I want to be able to invest more, and I can do that by paying less taxes and being a better consumer. If I can buy the same thing for $50 you paid $80 for, if I can fill up my tank for $20 and you had to pay $23, if I can buy my soup on sale, we are in an inflationary period of time, my friends, and it's going to continue. And while I think it's going to continue, I know it's going to continue. I hear many of the economists talking about unemployment. We're seeing Google lay off a lot of people. Tech people are being let go. Companies are merging. There's something called the Phillips curve in economics, and I'm not an economics professor, nor am I an economics student. The first transcript I have from college, with the first course I ever took, was called Principles of Macroeconomics. The first one on my transcript. Didn't do too well. Got an F. I failed economics. Yet I understand now why it was so important. I didn't realize it then. Because you see, if you don't know how the money system works, the Federal Reserve, monetary policy, fiscal policy, we got problems. So the Phillips curve taught me there's an inflation-unemployment trade-off. The reason inflation is not going down as fast as it could or should is we still have low unemployment. More people will have to be out of work to benefit even more people. So as you watch unemployment stay steady, inflation will stay here longer. Now, what the Fed does to cause more problems is another whole issue, which I cannot predict. But the Phillips curve is pretty accurate. It's been accurate for hundreds of years. This is not something brand new. Read about it. So as I watch unemployment not change drastically, I see inflation's not going to change drastically. So what are we looking at? Well, people that are investing in safe things are looking at some short-term CDs. Some other people are investing in some other items. But the point is, we understand that there's an inflation-unemployment trade-off. So I think we've covered that enough. And with that said, as you decide what's my best ways, where do I consume the best? Can I go online and compare prices? Can I use coupons? Can I find ways to get rebates? As I said, I wouldn't think about buying anything unless I can use a rebate like 11% from Home Depot. Now they're still using it. A lot of people use coupons. I've got some coupons right here. I'm sitting with some coupons to use to go shopping. I got to use them. One's going to save me $4 on an artificial sweetener. $4. Here's $3.50 on detergent. Good branded detergent. See, anytime I save money with a coupon, or better yet, I learn the skills and techniques of negotiation, which is my passion. I have 3 passions in life: real estate investing, wealth building, and negotiations. As a master certified negotiator and a trainer for the largest real estate negotiation training program in the country, I try my best to walk my talk, to practice what I preach, and use it as an example in my seminars. I'm getting ready to do a few in Illinois in the next couple of months. If you're in Illinois, watch for them. Include 8 hours of CE credit, all kinds of materials forever. Retake the course anytime for free. Just buy a new book, which has been updated, if you want a new book. See, negotiation is also a big part in wealth building because, again, if you don't ask for it, you won't get it. Whether you're negotiating at an appliance store, a grocery store, a restaurant. The only place I found in my entire life I have no way to negotiate is a city water bill. I have income property in a lot of cities. I have my own residence. I have a pool to fill. Can't even get a quantity discount on filling my pool. It's the same. See, every other utility, Nicor, Energy, ComEd Energy, every state, all kinds of things. There's actually a service in Texas where somebody will watch for you every month for a fee, which is a better energy source to go to. As I just purchased a second home in Texas, I realized now people want me to let them, for a small fee, tell me when I should switch to one company or another company. What's my best rate? It's a business. Don't lose money. That's an income commandment, people. I've got 10 of them. I'll be sharing those over and over again because we need to be reminded of what we should be doing in life, just as many of you follow the 10 commandments in your belief system. I have 10 income commandments. That's my belief system in wealth building. And I got to be reminded I can't do certain things or I must do certain things, i.e. pay myself first, equal to my tax bracket. Don't lose money. Hire great brains. See, I said get that accountant now. Gosh, I think I mentioned this before. Many of you have to go and do an amendment to your last year's tax return because you didn't realize last year and this year you can write off 100% of all your meals used in business. 100%, not 50. Realizing this year the mileage rate's up to 65 cents per mile if you keep good records. You have so many financial options to not lose money. To not lose money. Like I said, who would ever go into a Best Buy and pay full price without a coupon? I would think they laugh at you as you walk out. Well, that sucker paid full price. Wow, what an idiot. Man, we are in a interesting time. It's tough for a lot of people, but some people still figured some things out. I'm still of the opinion credit is going to be your best advantage because it's a power tool. And if you know how to use your power tools, they're so much better than working by hand. Your power toolbox is credit. And the more tools in the box, i.e. the more credit cards, the more flexibility, the more flip-flopping cards and leapfrogging, the better off you're going to be. Paying things on time, not paying any interest will be the way to go. I still am amazed to realize that if I just paid those people $129, I would have the best credit rating ever. Never use the card again, but take 60 years to pay my $12,000 back. $92,880 out of my pocket because I needed $12,000 worth of stuff now and couldn't pay for it. I could have taken out a very high interest loan and it would have cost me $80,000 in interest. Credit is a power tool in a consumer workshop. So what I wanted to try today was talk to you face to face, eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly, and say, build wealth, realize why you're not going to build wealth. Think about real estate as not the best investment, the ideal investment. So let's leave with that process. I have told people over the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months probably, the way to combat inflation is understand what happened before. There are many phrases out there. The one I love the best is that those who don't understand history are bound to repeat it. If you don't know what happened in 2006, 7, and 8, 81, 82, you will know what to do this year or next year when there's a recession. So I've recommended at least these 5. I'm biased, but I'm not going to make your decisions. But I do know the people that will grow, and this will be a winflation, not inflation, is they'll build their wealth by gold, silver, diamonds, real estate, and food storage. You're welcome to go back and look at prices 6 months ago, 8 months ago, if you can find some. You'll know what I'm saying. Food, eggs. Look at how eggs have gone up. Milk, chicken, beef, food storage, pop, soup. I mean, we have to understand. And again, these are hard assets. That's why they work in inflation. Hard assets are the way to go. You build wealth, but real estate, of all those 5, has something better than all the other 4. One, it gives you a monthly income. Gold doesn't do that. Silver doesn't do that. Diamonds don't do that. Food storage doesn't do that. It gives you depreciation, an artificial expense I can write off. 3.6% a year of the building value of any real estate investment I buy. On $1 million worth of building value in real estate, whether it's 1 building or 10 buildings or 20 buildings, I'm getting 3% off. That's almost $36,000 a year against my income. If I have $3 million of real estate value because I'm buying 2 a year, in 5 years I have 10. That's $108,000 of depreciation, artificial expense against my other income. Gold doesn't, you can't write off gold, can't write off silver, can't write off diamonds, can't write off food storage. Equity, because I borrowed. I borrowed and I'm writing off the deduction. See, if I use my credit card to buy groceries, I can't write that off. If I use my credit card to buy a diamond ring, I can't write that off as a deductible expense. But if I real estate, I can write all the interest off as an expense. And then guess what else happens? Appreciation over long term. The rule of 72s. The rule of 115 says, take that same rate, tells me how fast my income triples. And the rule of 144 says, if I buy a $100,000 house and inflation is 4%, 4 into 144 tells me how fast that investment will triple in value. And then above all, because I'm paying the loan off, I get that equity buildup. Income, depreciation, equity, appreciation, leverage. So real estate in Wayne's world is not the best investment. Real estate in Wayne's world is the ideal investment. That's why I can't stress it enough. Now, everybody has different philosophies. As many of you know, there's loads of people online, there's seminars to go to. I probably align myself more with Grant Cardone than anybody else in a number of different ways. And I'm very dominant and influenced like Dom Pena. You may not agree with these people, but man, they're doing well. Now, my mindset is built on the same philosophies as Grant, but he looks at the big investments, the 32 plus, 100 plus buildings. I'm looking at a duplex here, single family there, because that's how I started. Was I wrong? No. Was he wrong? No. Could he switch down? Could I go up? Yes. Maybe we will. Maybe we did. Who knows? All I'm saying is I look at it as a long-term process. But now the longer I had a chance to enjoy it, because I set that goal to reach that goal by a certain time frame from 1978 till 1990. Things happen for the better. So as we look at wealth, if you lose wealth, if you lose money, you're transferring something you may not get back. See, whether it's inflation, which we have now, or a recession, which we will have, we're going to go through inflation, recession, inflation, recession. We don't know how long or how bad or how good, but we're going to have inflation, recession, inflation, recession. You can trace history. You can go online and get a graph to see everything. Go back to 1980 when we had a 21% prime rate. We think that our numbers now at 7 or 8 are high, 21%. We're hearing stories about our inflation being as good as or worse than the 1980s. And so if you don't know what to do when Jimmy Carter created that problem as president, you don't know what to do now that Biden created this problem if you want to blame presidents. Either way, I don't care who's in office. Doesn't make a difference to me. All I know is in Wayne's world, I have to react to an inflationary market or a recessionary market, because in both markets, wealth transfers. Right now, we got a lot of people paying a lot more money for the same thing. The last fill up I made at my gas station was at $2.99. Today, it's $3.49. It's 50 cents a gallon more than it was the last time I filled up. It's probably going to come down. But if I needed gas today, 50 cents a gallon times 20 gallons, it's going to cost me $10 more to put the same gas in I put the last time I was at that station. To earn $10 in my pocket, I probably have to earn 12 or 13. So wealth is transferring. People are paying a lot more for the same thing. My 99 cent container of rice pudding is now at the cheapest $1.99, and sometimes they have $1.69 at Walmart. Same stuff. Food storage. If I could have bought 1,000 of those, I couldn't, but I bought enough that I saved. I still got some soup I bought at 99 cents a can that's now selling for $2.69 a can. Same soup. Wealth transfers. In a recession, wealth transfers. People will be giving things up. Pawn shops. Pawn shops are now growing faster and have more things. And I walked into a restaurant next to a pawn shop, a new pawn shop. Inside was somebody's Harley Davidson motorcycle. I've never seen anything like that in a pawn shop. That person needed some money, probably to eat, to take care of his or her family. So they had to hawk and put into pawn their Harley Davidson motorcycle, a gorgeous machine, worth thousands. Maybe they got a couple thousand for it in pawn money just to survive. If they don't come back, somebody will buy that for a fraction of what it's worth. We're seeing more items on Craigslist. We're seeing more things on eBay. People are selling things. Recession. So whether it's inflation, where prices rise, or recession, where we see a change that way, wealth is going to transfer. I'd like to leave you with this thought. Whether it's inflation or whether it's recession, you, my friends, need to be the transferee instead of the transferor. If you're going to be a person who benefits and lives in Wayne's world, then you got to learn how to be a transferee of wealth every single day, not a transferor of wealth. You cannot lose wealth. You have to get wealth. I have 2 buildings that everybody got a rent increase starting February 1st if they want to stay. They're having to give me more money to live in the same place they lived in last year because my costs have gone up. We know the cost of this, that, these, and those. Wealth transfers from one group of people to another group of people, whether it's inflation or recession. You, my friends, the transferee instead of the transferor. And my last thought as I say goodbye for this week in Wayne's World is you never can get too much money. That's why money matters. You never can get too much money, but when money gets you, that's too much. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your time. Thank you for being a listener in Wayne's World today. Enjoy your week. Bye.